So I want to start with my big idea, based on some of the information that I presented, building on last week's big idea. And last week's big idea was Apke's Golden Rule of Agile. And for those of you who I mentioned before, I'm going to have a book coming out that's going to be called Apke's Golden Rule of Agile, where I get into a lot of detail on this. But I'm going to cover some of the main points over the next few weeks in these big ideas. And one of them, the Apke's Golden Rule of Agile is we deliver the optimal value to our customers in the shortest possible time. And I think that when we look at product development, software development, this is what we hope to achieve, is actually delivering high value to our customers as quickly as possible. And it doesn't take in all of Agile. It doesn't take in all the values and principles of the Agile Manifesto, but I think it does a good job of distilling it into something that's easily memorable. So, as I said last week, if we know that these three things are the three things that we want to focus on as a company, we really need to know primarily three things. We need to know our customers. We need to know what are the valuable things that we could deliver to our customers. We usually express those things in terms of to-do lists or backlogs or stories or what have you, features. And we need to know how long does it take to bring those things to our customers. So this particular presentation is trying to figure out two of the three things, which is, if we know value and effort are critical to the work that we do and the value we can bring to our customers, how can we actually assess things like value and effort, and do so very, very quickly? This is the thing I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you how quickly it can be done. And it's not perfect. We're not looking for perfection here. What we're looking for is we're looking for things that guide us in the right direction in terms of the things that bring value and the effort that it would take to do them. So the best way I found is to do it through relative estimation. A lot of folks want to do absolute estimation. They want to say this task, this story, this feature is going to take 2 days or 10 hours or something. That's not relative. I'm going to use this technique. I'm not the only one who does this. It's actually called silent grouping and affinity estimation. But I put in kind of parenthetically, if you want to call it the Apke method, I'm not going to get hurt by it. There's others out there in the Agile world who do this, and they claim, they put their name to it. So if you want to put my name to it, it's fine. It doesn't really matter to me. But the key is that we as human beings are very good with relativity as opposed to absolutes. It's just one of those many cognitive biases I talk about. There's a lot of optical illusions and things that have to deal with relative size of things. We're good with relative size. We're not good with absolute. So the way this works, because I only have about 5 more minutes before I want to bring in Aman to talk about his big idea, is we take all of the work that we could do. We identify all the work that we could do. We put it into a list. In my training, we've actually done it as a honey-do list. So I want you to kind of look here. We use a virtual whiteboard. And we put these things like sticky notes. These are virtual sticky notes. We used to do it back in the old days. We used to do it in person. We used to put sticky notes on a whiteboard, literally. So this is what it would look like. And all the items of things that we could do to delight our customers and bring value to our customers, we're going to put on the left-hand side of this. And I've got a little line here to demarcate that. And as a facilitator, I'm going to guide teams through this process. And what we do is we have 2 different meetings. One meeting is for the value, and one meeting is for the effort that it would take to deliver the value. And the people who come to us for the value session, these are the people who understand the value of the work. They're usually our business people. They could be customers, they're our partners, but that's who we have in the room. When we talk about relative effort, we have the people who know about effort. These are our developers usually. And I'm going to ask a very simple question once we have these things. I'm going to do this setup. And I'm going to take a couple of things from this backlog and move them over to the main stage, so to speak. I'm going to ask a very simple question. I know you can't read these, but this is an actual honey-do list. This is an actual screenshot of one of the exercises I've done. I'm going to ask, in terms of value, for the people and value. If I were to deliver, I'm going to say it very particularly, if I were to deliver this item today versus this item today, which one would bring more value? And we're going to come up to a consensus. Usually it's pretty easy at that point in time. I'm going to put the one with the most value on the right and the one with the less value on the left. And we're going to put some space in between them so that we have places to put them. And then I'm going to grab a third one. I'm going to ask a very simple question. Again, if I were to deliver this item today in terms of value, how does it sit in relation to the other two? Is it to the left? Is it in the middle? Is it to the right, etc.? And now we have 3 items. It could be, again, anything. It could be features. It could be stories. It could be, in this case, it's a honey-do list of home repairs. And then I'm going to get the team and I'm going to ask them a very simple question. Grab one of these sticky notes. And if you know what it is, or if you think you know what it is in terms of value, I want you to move it to the screen and I want you to put it where you think it belongs in terms of relative value. And they're going to do that. And after they do that, we're going to end up with something that looks like this, where the things with the least amount of value and the things with the most amount of value go from left to right. And you'll notice that there are sometimes groupings where things are underneath other things. And as a facilitator, I'm going to take those and we're going to try to get them into groups. And then we're going to actually take and we're going to put, so this is the grouping exercise. We usually do 9 or fewer columns now. And I'm going to verify with the people. I'm going to say, look, do the things in this column look like the other things in this column in respect to the value they would deliver? And if they don't, we'll move them around and we go through a whole process. I don't want to explain the whole process. I only have a couple minutes left. But I do go through the whole process, and I do want to say, and I know I'm plugging it a lot, but in the VUCA MBA, we have 3 days, and part of that is we'll do this exercise, not just theoretically, but we'll do it with your backlog. And there's a huge value to it. If nothing else that you get, there's a huge value to this because, as I'm going to explain, the sequence with which we deliver these is going to be critical. And then we're going to take and we're going to put some numbers, numeric values to the values that we've done. And you can see that we've done this here. We use a modified Fibonacci sequence. This is not unusual in the world of agility. It's been used for years and years and years. And that sequence has 9 columns and it has different relative values. Now, I want you to understand, with the couple of minutes I have left, this is not the end of it. We're doing this twice with the same list with different people. One group of people is going to give me relative value. The other group of people is going to give me relative effort. And that's the key. Because now we have 2 of the 3 things that we need to satisfy this thing that I'm referring to as the golden rule, Apke's golden rule of Agile, which is we have a numeric value for effort and we have a numeric value for value. And we can use those 2 things to do what I'm going to talk about in the next session. So a little teaser there. In the next Friday Relentless Learning session, my big idea is about, okay, now that we have these things, how do we sequence the work and why is that important?